guys. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast. Sorry we were late. I had a few little things we had to sort out at the start of the stream then. Little gib-gab. But we are here. Thanks, everyone, for coming on. Get your comments involved. You know the system now. You all love Toffee Bluecast. What we do is we're going to look at Brighton's players. We're going to look at Everton's players. We're going to say what team we want. We'll put your comments on the screen. And then we're also going to finish with a score prediction, as we do the night before every game. And it just gives you a good feel before the game. I like it. Jamie likes it. Everyone likes it. Paul is not here tonight. He is away. He hasn't been missing for a while, but Jamie's going to fill his place. And he's ready. So that's the good thing about having quite a few people on the channel now. We do have people step forward to keep you lot getting your streams. So how are you feeling about this game then, Jamie? I mean, it's not long after the cup.
Well, we've got to be on a high, haven't we? Nice win, nice professional job the last two games that we've played. So we can't really go in it with anything but confidence. And as I said to you the other night when we done the impromptu cup stream, there's not really many teams that at this moment in time with the way that we're playing that have fear, and I don't see why we should. We're playing good football. We're putting the ball in the back of the net. Tom's doing his thing and he's running the show. He's bullying defences. So why would we be scared of anybody?
No, I agree. I think we're playing that well now that I'm ready for a step up. And I do think that is. I know West Ham are pretty good and that was a step up. But I want to prove that wasn't a lucky game. And I want to step up on another game. I think if you can beat West Ham and then you can go and beat Brighton, you show a real good intention on moving forward this season. Just seeing Stephanie's comments, she's going to stick around. Where's Paul? Paul's friend. Emma is in the building as well. She loves the channel. Everything, yeah. There we go. Everything Everton is here. This is what we do. Bring Everton fans together. There you go. Get involved in the comments. Tell us what you think. Yeah, I think the same as you, mate. I think we're ready for a big game. This is a big game. They have got a good team. They are doing quite well. They're in the Europa League. They've got a good team. So this is the sort of competition that we want now. Now, I'm expecting you to help me with a little bit of this now. I'm going to put it on the screen.
Just before we do, Paul had show and tell last week, didn't he, with his Die Hard Tower for Christmas. So not many people know. Dan knows on the channel. It's actually my 33rd birthday on Sunday. I mean, Mrs. surprised me with this earlier. So it says Daddy's team, and then it's got me Mrs. and me daughter, me son, and our youngest daughter, all in the Everton kits, all lined up. So I'm thinking of getting it somewhere behind while I stream.
That's amazing.
So I thought that was a nice little touch for my birthday, man.
No, that's a good present. That is. Fair play to her buying you that as well, because it's your kids that you love, it's Everton that you love, and her that you love, all in one picture. Perfect. That's a cracking picture, that is. And you like say, your kids will grow up to Evertonians now as well with that picture. That's amazing. That's out. Good present.
Everything's just gone, where am I, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm me as well. I'm Paul. It's going to be a long picture. It's going to be like the border of wallpaper all the way around your house, all the way around. You've got a lot of friends on top of Bluecast. We all need to get involved and get on that. Right, I've got a picture for you now anyway. Here's a picture for you. This is my present for your birthday coming up. I want you to headbutt it.
Not Paul in a mankini, is it?
With this Brighton team, they had a game in the Cup. They had a game against Ajax and they had a game against Fulham. Brighton have got a big team now, haven't they, Jamie? I mean, I had to put both teams up because we needed to get an idea of what they're going to play against us, because I feel like they probably played a weaker team against Fulham, you'd say there, and played the strongest team against Ajax, would you say?
I mean...
Both good.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's difficult to say that they've played one team stronger because they're two different formations, aren't they? So it depends what you're trying to get out of the game. I mean, they beat Ajax. They beat Fulham, or did they lose to Fulham? I can't remember what the score was. But I had a look at the previous 6 games. They seem to turn up one week and then falter the next. Turn up one week, falter the next, and then obviously you've got to include the European games in that. And I'm unsure of who they're gonna or what team they're gonna put out because they've got Ajax on Thursday as well. They've got Ajax on the 9th.
Didn't know that. That could help us out.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they've got a Ajax on the 9th. I know they already pumped Ajax 2-0, but I'm sure that was at home. So they've got to think as well, European wise. They've got Ajax again on the 9th, so it could be either team. I mean, if you give me a choice of which team I'd rather come up against, that's the thing. You can't say the team against Ajax is the stronger because their best player for me, obviously apart from Matoma, is Evan Ferguson. He's their biggest threat, and he played against Fulham. Whereas João Pedro,
you make a good point.
To be fair, they've got great options.
I think they are. I know this is crazy to say that we've actually got good options now, but I think they're a little bit like us. If you think of us, we've got Dan Juma wanting to get into the squad. We've got Beto wanting to get in the squad. We've got Young competing with Patterson and Mikalenko. And in the centre of midfield, you've got Garner Gay trying to get in over Onana and James Garner. So we've actually got that strength and depth that they've got. Some Everton fans won't admit it yet, but we are starting to get a strong squad together, and they're the same as us. I think they've got some good competition. That player they got from Barcelona, Fati, he's not bedded in, has he, completely yet? I don't think he's hit the ground running. I mean, I'm more scared of Ferguson than him.
Yeah, Ferguson's proven. The only thing that, instantly when I look at both teams, as good as a player as Dahoud was when he was eventually fit at Dortmund, is their middle of the park doesn't look so secure compared to the three that we play in the middle. So if they played the three in the middle of Baleba, Dahoud, Lallana, I think our three absolutely trounces that and walks through that. And with Gross and Gilmore, as good of a player as Gilmore is, physically he's not the greatest when it comes to the physical battle. Whereas you look at our midfield, Jimmy Garner loves to mix it up. We obviously all know, and we've all seen over the past few games, the way Onana likes to mix it up in the middle. And then you've got Doucouré on top of it. And I believe I'm sure I said that before the last Brighton game when we beat them 5-1, that the middle of the park is the area where I feel that we need to dominate first and build from.
No, I agree. I think Gilmore's a cracking player on the ball, but if you do push onto him, Onana or Doucouré could win that sort of battle on him. Would you say this is the same team that we played when we spanked them at the end of last season? Or would you feel they're stronger?
I think they were in a stronger position when we spanked them last season. They haven't been great this season. They haven't been great away, especially away from home. They haven't been great this season. When I was looking through the previous results, I was surprised but then again, these turned over Newcastle at home. So it's as I said, when I was going through and I was having a little look at the stats and their recent results, they seem to turn up one week and then not turn up another week. And it's just, they seem very hit and miss this season. So I don't know whether it's the fact that obviously they've lost Caicedo to Chelsea, and they've brought in the likes of, obviously Milner's professional, we all know that, but you've got Dahoud, never heard of Baleba before. Igor was signed in the summer. Do you know what I mean? He's trying, you got Fati as well, João Pedro. They've all had little sparks throughout the season. João Pedro, Matoma, Ferguson. But again, I don't fear this Brighton team. Not with the way that we're playing at home at this moment in time, or the way we played the last 7 games. Even the derby, I don't particularly think we played poorly. I just think the FA and the PGMOL decided to hand Liverpool an apology on a platter.
No, I always say, I keep saying about our form, we're like 1-5 in our last 7. But really, we got cheated out of one of them as well, and one we lost against Luton. So we're in really good form at the minute. And they will want to get payback against us, won't they, Jamie? These after doing what we did to them last time, absolutely destroying them and bragging about it, McNeil running and scoring with his hands out on an open goal. They're going to want payback. I've already seen a few Brighton fans say they want payback and stuff like that because we smashed them this game, and the games like that stay with you, doesn't it? When you've got destroyed like we destroyed them, games like that stay with you.
It does, but it doesn't necessarily mean we don't always get what we want, do we? I'll be honest. Even their back line, yes, they've got height. Yes, they've got strength. Don't see them having a lot of speed. Their right back is a toss-up between Milner and Gross. Both good professional footballers, but they're not blessed with pace. McNeil can run them down the line. Swap with Harrison. Harrison can run them down the line. Again, Veltman started his career as a centre-back in the Dutch league. As far as I'm aware, Igor signed from a Serie A team, and he was naturally born as a centre-back. So it's one of those. I mean, and especially with the way Dom's playing, and I implore anybody to disagree with me in the comments. I'm confident every time DCL steps on the pitch. He only needs that half a second. He only needs that half a chance, and he can put it in. Do you know what I mean? He's done it since he's come back from his eye injury. Can't stop scoring, so we just need to play through the middle, get him the chances, get Decore the chances as well, because I think he'll be on a massive high with signing his new contract as well. Yeah, I'm quietly confident, I'll be honest.
I've just seen this. We'll go on to Everton's team in 2 seconds, and then we'll give our lineup predictions. But I've just seen everything Everton saying. Matoma, how do you think we deal with him? Whose side are you going to be on? Is it going to be? It'll be either Patterson. He's down the left, so isn't he? So it'll be Patterson or Young.
I think the thing with Matoma and Adingra, or whoever they do play on the right, I think they'll probably swap at some point either half as well. So I don't think it'll just be a Patterson job. I think it'll be a case of Mikalenko will obviously he'll have a go at Mikalenko at some point during the game as well. But I'm not too worried.
What about this man? You mentioned him earlier on. Richo's just said Ferguson is the danger man. We all know about him. He's normally quite good against us as well. He's probably one of the best, other than Haaland, and he's up there with the top strikers in the Premier League at the minute. Into Ferguson, there's been a lot of interest in him. He's a very good striker, but I actually do feel that with us having probably the best centre-back in going around at the minute with Gerald Branthwaite and Tarkowski, I feel we can handle him this time with them two. Do you?
Yeah, I'm not too worried. I mean, maybe we could come on every week and sing the praises of Gerald Branthwaite. He is a phenomenal talent that is only going to get better. Some of the games he's played, some of the tackles he's put in, just his presence alone, mate, it frustrates people. Like, I've never seen Mikel Antonio be as dominated by a centre-back as he was by Gerard Branthwaite. Like, Mikel Antonio is known for scoring headers in the box, beating centre-backs for headers, bullying people off the ball, using his strength, using his speed. And he was so ineffective against Gerard Branthwaite. And I actually think Gerard Branthwaite has brought the best out in Tarkowski this season. And I think we're starting to see the fruition of that, because as much as Gerard Branthwaite will cover Tarkowski, I think he's learning so much off Tarkowski, and Tarkowski doesn't have the Calamity Keane where there's always a mistake next to him sort of thing, whereas he's got trust and he's building an understanding with Branthwaite.
Yeah, the Blues have agreed with you there. He's just said he's a freak of nature on Branthwaite. Keep your comments coming, because we want you to talk with us, and I will keep putting them on the screen and interacting with you as we go. We'll make it a group conversation. The Blues has also said they rotated quite a lot when we beat them, Thingy. Yeah, they probably did, but I think they will still have a few on there that I'll have to remember. They'll remember that we battered them. Emma there says, glad our home form has improved. Yeah, that's a massive positive as well. I did say that last time, Jamie, didn't I? I said we need to get the confidence that we can win at home, and I feel we did that last game. We needed that win at home now, and we can. It's good as well for the players as well, because you know when you've got 2 games close to, if you're travelling on the coach a lot, it does tire you out travelling. No matter what anyone says, it sounds stupid, but if you've travelled all the way to London on the coach and you've travelled back, it shatters you out. Where this game at home, they're close, they play it, and then they go home, and it's at home. Games are always easier at home. You're just more relaxed. You're in your own territory. So I do feel these 2 games are close together, but with them both being at home, it helps us. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, well, look at this way. We're going for our third home win on the bounce, don't forget. So I don't think we've been able to say that in the last 2 seasons, have we? So it's definitely a positive, and it's going in the right direction. Again, though, I just feel the stat doesn't lie, and I keep banging on about it, but it's true. I think we need to score the first goal. I think we are
Definitely.
beginning to be a confidence team. We get that first goal, we then build upon it, soak up any pressure that we need to, get the second goal, see the game out, happy as you like.
I don't normally do this, but before we go to the Everton team, which we're going to go to now, and people in the comments, if you want to do it as well, just interesting, I can look back on it and see whether you got it right, bit of fun. But I don't normally do this. Jamie, you tell me, what Brighton team do you think we're going to come up against looking at both those teams that they've played against Ajax and against Fulham? What team? You give me what team you think we're going to come up against before I move on to Everton.
So I think it'll be the first formation. I think he'll try and overpack the midfield and play with the lone striker just because he's away. I don't see them playing a flat 4-4-2 all-out attack against us away from home because I just don't think with the way our press game is at home, with how defensively sound we've become over the last 4 or 5 games, I don't see it working against us. So I think it'll be like a like for like formation to ours, but I don't think you'll see the likes of Lallana start or Baleba. I think you'll see like potentially Dahoud. Again, I don't know much about their starting 11 this season. Last season, yeah, I'd be able to tell you because obviously Casado would be the first name on the team sheet, but I reckon it'd probably be Milner right back, Dunk, Webster, Veltman, Steele in goal, Dahoud, Gross as the holding midfielders, and then you'll have probably Matoma, João Pedro, somebody, maybe Gilmore, I'm not sure, just behind the striker, and then Ferguson top. So I reckon it'll be I think it'll be a like for like formation to try and win the midfield battle against us.
The Blues has just said he thinks that they'll play 3 at the back with Igor and Duncan Webster and then play with wing backs. It's going to be interesting to see what team we do come up against. That's why I just made that point, because they've got a lot of players. And you know that they're going to want to play Fatty, they're going to want to play Matoma, they're going to want to play Ferguson, and they're also going to want to play Pedro. So that's 4 attacking players that they're going to probably try and force into the team then. So sometimes when you've got too many options, it can be something that actually makes you worse. I don't know. I don't know whether they'll force them in. It's going to be interesting.
That might be a reason why 1 week they're good, 1 week they're not, because he's rotating those 4, trying to get them all game time, and 3 work together, whereas the other 3 don't, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? It could be a hindrance to them. You can see why they've stocked up on the players, because obviously they've got the European competition as well. But obviously, as we've learned, you don't really want to be changing a winning side when you find the antidote. You don't really want to get rid of it, do you?
No, we've got to stay on the ball as well. You don't know. We all think attacking when you look at the players, but Richo's just said they won 1-0 last time at Goodison with 1 shot on goal. Yeah, that spanking that we gave them wasn't something that we always have, but I'm just trying to put that into my head because that's what you need to do again. I'm hoping McNeil lights up this game. And like you say, Decore as well scored against them. I'm hoping him signing a new contract. You make a good point. By the way, Decore, I'm really happy Decore signed a new contract. In the comments, are you happy? I've already tweeted that I'm happy. Jamie's happy. He's playing his best football. He's happy now. We spent how much did Decore cost us? Was it something like 20 million?
It was around, I think it was like 18 million plus add-ons, which took it to like 21 million. But you look at what we've had, a good 4 years service out of him so far. Let's be fair, in the last 2 relegation battles, he's been a big player for us. Take away the first half of last season when Lampard seemed to go off on him. It just shows that it doesn't matter how good of a manager or how good of a footballer you are, you're not always going to be right. Because you just
mentioned Lampard.
You
just mentioned Lampard, and then look at that comment there. Didn't they spank us 4-1 under Lampard? Lampard didn't like Decore, so I don't like Lampard anymore, in my opinion. He didn't like Decore.
But this is what I mean about Dyche, and I'll always sing Dyche's praises until things change in my eyes. Even when we were struggling at the start and we didn't have all these wins, I said to you privately, I don't understand why everyone's jumping on. I actually said it on the channel, I believe, and I apologise for calling people. What did I call them? idiots or deluded, something along those lines. I apologise for the wording that I used, but I stand by what I said at that time. That those jumping on Dyche's back it was a little bit too quick. He's trying to implement something, and we need to give him time to implement it. And he said it all the way along. And Decore is a fantastic example of that, because before Dyche come in, he was completely frozen out. He wasn't getting a look. He wasn't getting in the matchday squad. Wasn't getting on the bench. Dyche comes in, goes, right, wipe the slate clean. You're all my players now. You're all part of this team. Tell me what you can do. And that was it. Brought him straight back into the fold. The lad, I don't want to say single-handedly, but had a huge part in us staying up last year. You look towards those
100%.
last 10 games of the season and how much he put in. And you know what? And I still go back to the Spurs game where he got sent off for grazing Harry Kane's throat. That was the fight that we wanted to see from 11 players on the pitch. And from that day, Decore won my heart, because he's done nothing but fight for that shirt when he's put it on. Yes, he is susceptible to giving the ball away and things like that, but you struggle to find many who try harder.
No, I love it. I just think he always works hard, and sometimes he's got a heavy touch, and sometimes he misses chances he should score, but he always does. And he said that in his speech today when he signed the contract. He loves Everton, and he always does give it 110%. And I can't really say he hasn't. Like I say, sometimes he hasn't had the ability, he hasn't had the touch or the shot, but he's always worked his arse off. And I feel he's in the right position now. Paul's just said, there you go, Paul Faster. He's just said Brighton haven't had the same 11 in the last 10 games. It's true what you said. Like they just don't know what the team is, do they? And
no, I think losing the spine of the team to see Caicedo getting rid of him in the summer, I don't think they've really replaced him properly in the middle of I think De Zerbi's just trying to find that. He's doing what Dyche done at the start of the season, where he's putting Keane in here, he's putting Young in there, he's putting Patterson. He's trying to find the right melody to create the song. And at this moment in time, it doesn't seem that they're firing on all cylinders, and they haven't found it. So hopefully De Zerbi does the same again with us. He puts in a team that he's not sure about, and players aren't sure of the tactics, and we steamroll them, because Dyche
the Blues has just said there the reason that he thinks that they'll play free at the back is because with the fullbacks, with Lamptey and that player, I don't even, like I say, some of these players I don't know. I do know him. I've watched him, but
yeah, he's the one that almost got what was it? He had to be surgically removed from Dwight McNeil's pocket last time, didn't he?
There you go, then. So I'm not that bothered. But he was on the right. Yeah, and I honestly do believe the Blues, if they do play that wing back formation, we could get them. I don't think that will suit them. I really don't.
No, if they play through we go down the wings and bang the balls into DCL. Yes, Duncan, Webster are tall defenders, but there's not many that win more headers than DCL in the Premier League.
No, the problem is when you play free with the fullbacks, if you lose that battle, which we often did under Lampard, you end up with 5 at the back. And with us having Harrison and McNeil on the wings, and obviously Dan Juma's in contention as well, we can catch them. I wouldn't like to bomb it forward and leave Harrison on that wing. He can hurt them. He can. Harrison's on fire at the minute. McNeil's on fire. So I fancy us if they go for that. I fancy us anyway this game, no matter what. I really am up for this. But let's not beat around the bush. Matoma is sensational. Ferguson is sensational. It's going to take us being really good in midfield, really good in defence, and we're going to have to take a chance. We're going to have to be at our best, but I do believe we're picking up to be like that.
No, I agree. And I also think the way that Onana's turning the ball over so regularly in games now, and he's winning that midfield battle just in front of the back four if they play through it at the back. And he does what I called for from last season, because I remember being on, and I'm pretty sure it was before the Brighton game, I'm pretty sure I said we need Onana turning the ball over and getting us from defence to attack, which is what he's doing so much better this season since it's been him and Jimmy Garner. If he's turning the ball over and they've got 3 at the back and they've bombed forwards, you see how quick we are on a counter attack now. It'd be lights out.
Just trying to change the picture there. No, I think you're right. The Blues have said we're 2-1 to win. Don't get me tempted, mate. Do not get me tempted. Let me just try and change this picture, get the Everton line up now. Hopefully I haven't got 2 Brighton lineups. Hopefully I've got it right. Here we go. Is it Everton? Yes, it is. It's
Yeah.
Everton's last lineup. Now, this doesn't mean it's going to be the team that we played, but I have to put something on the screen of a lineup, so I go with the last lineup that we used. And this is the last. I know, Jamie, you won't be that happy with this because it's got Young in it, but but it is the last lineup that we played. It's not far off a best team, though, is it? To be fair, you probably, for me, I'd say Decore gets the go ahead against Danjuma, and Danjuma got a game because it was the cup. And then Patterson, you'd like to think that he's above Young, but that's the big question. Did Dyche play Young because it's in the cup, or did Dyche play Young because his band's gone and he wants Young back in there instead of Patterson? That's going to be something we're going to question, isn't it?
The only thing that frustrates me about the cup game, and I hate myself that I'm about to say this, is Young didn't actually have a bad game, and that's what annoys me about it. Young didn't actually have a bad game. Fair enough, they weren't exactly world beaters. They didn't create a lot of chances in the sense that he was ever really in trouble. However, he did have a good game. Dyche does have an epiphany with Young. I personally want to see Patterson in there. Obviously, I feel Patterson could. The thing is, right? If Patterson gets the
good
game
when he
time,
come on. Patterson was. It was good when he
no,
come on.
I know, I agree. And for me, and this is why I think Young should be the understudy to Mikalenko when Coleman's back, because if we get Patterson playing, if Patterson nails down his position,
There's a comment, Jamie.
he starts progressing like Mikalenko's done. Because obviously you see the benefit Mikalenko's had by playing and playing and playing. He gets the league now. He's acclimatized to the league, and he's starting to look like the defender we wanted him to be. When it comes to Patterson, if we give him that chance and we give him that time and he stays fit, that's our right back for the next 10 years. He's young.
Our future.
He's our future, and that's why I don't want to see him in and out the team every other week, because we all love Coleman. I love Coleman. Coleman's been a fantastic servant to the club. Literally one of the best right backs I've seen. One of the most, the way he stayed fit and the way he's come back from his leg breaks and the injuries that he's had, it's unreal. The level that he can still play at. Obviously, we haven't seen him this season, but there were games last season where you wouldn't think at his age that many games in a row that he'd be able to do, but he did, and he was also another big part of us staying up. Especially, was it Leeds the goal he scored against? Was it Leeds he scored against where he just pinged it from the wing and it just went in?
Yeah, well, I still believe that Leeds goal was an intentional goal from Coleman because he looked up at the goal when he hit it. Yeah,
no, I agree.
Wouldn't surprise me. But before Coleman got injured, he's playing his best football, which is crazy to say. Down that right hand side was our massive strength until when he come off. I was gutted because I knew Coleman was a big asset on keeping us up. And when he comes back in, Coleman isn't going to come back in to sit on the bench. Yes, he's good as a person to keep players motivated and stuff like that. But Coleman, he's a footballer. He's played football all his life, and I bet he's missed playing. So when he comes back, he'll be pushing to get into this team. But it's a very, very healthy competition. And it's not competition where players are starting to hate each other because they're taking each other's places. It's competition where they're all in it together. They're a squad, and they want to have a good season together. So it is good competition.
Just look at the Beto DCL.
Leeds goal was never in doubt. I agree.
No, exactly. But like you're saying about the healthy competition, Coleman coming back will bring the best out of Patterson. That'll bring the best out in Coleman, which is exactly what we want. You just look at DCL and Beto. We signed Beto. DCL's no longer guaranteed number one name on the team sheet to start every game. Comes back from his injury, banging goals in left, right, and centre. It works. Healthy competition works. I wish we had a squad where every position we had two class players fighting for the position. The only place I think we really struggle are the wing backs, because obviously left back we've got Mikalenko and then Young, and then it's the centre backs because there's no other centre back at the club that I want to see start in this starting 11.
No, that's what scares me is the centre backs, like you've just said. I'm happy with the competition: left back, right back, centre midfield, wingers, and up front. But if someone gets injured and Tarkowski isn't in that centre back, and if someone gets injured and Branthwaite isn't there in that double act, I'm worried if Tarkowski or Branthwaite gets injured. Let's just say that, because you've got Godfrey coming in. Don't know what happened to him, the COVID hit him, but Godfrey's not himself at the minute. He might come back confident. Hopefully Dyche has been working on him, and when he comes, it wouldn't surprise me if Dyche has been one-on-one working with him, trying to figure out what's gone wrong with Godfrey, because Dyche never leaves anyone out. Michael Keane, if he plays, I'm behind him 110%, but he's just made that many mistakes. You always have them in your head. But if he does play, I am behind him, but I'm scared of Michael Keane's mistakes. When I was thinking about this earlier on, though, we're getting a couple of partnerships now. I've seen someone else mention it, Jamie. I mean, you just said it earlier on, Tarkowski and Branthwaite. Tarkowski said in his interview, he said, I know Branthwaite's going to get there. I know. He knows what I'm going to do, and I know what he's going to do. And they're forming a good partnership now. And it's the same with the wingers. I think when we play Patterson and Harrison, they're starting to be good together. Mikalenko's working really well with McNeil, I think. Onana and Garner, we've seen that partnership. It's bread and butter at the minute. And I like to think Doucouré's working really well with Calvert-Lewin. I believe that's a partnership. Now we've got Dele Alli that might come back in. There's been talks on that deal. And we've got Dan Juma that's looking... It's very good competition that we've got in our squad, isn't it? Then they are gelling together. That's my point, Jamie. Do you agree?
Yeah, well, it was like I don't know if you watched Dyche's match reaction after the game midweek, when they were asking about the wingers, and he said, McNeil done it. He put in a great shift. Which, to be fair, 9 games out of 10, even if he's not on it or he doesn't get much of the ball, you're going to get at least an 8 out of 10 performance from McNeil because of all the defensive work he does. I think Harrison had a sound game for what he done. I don't think he really got the with Harrison midweek. I just thought he was trying too hard. I think he was trying too hard to affect the game, and you've seen it with a couple of overhit crosses. There was one where he tried to play it across first time, and it went straight to the keeper, and it was just like he was trying a little bit too hard. But Dyche just said, didn't he, in his interview, we put in well, apologies. He put in good defensive work. He was very professional in what he'd done, but it's not just what he does on the pitch, it's what he does off the pitch. And he said that he's very good for the atmosphere around the boys in the dressing room, because he just clicks and he gets on with everybody and he has a joke and a laugh with everybody. So I think that's a great example as well of not just the chemistry on the pitch, but it's the chemistry off the pitch. I've played in football teams where I can't stand people that I play against. And those thoughts come in your head when you play, should I put him through? Should I pass to him? Or should I just go safe and pass him out? Do you know what I mean? It's the team cohesion. And it was something Dyche said that he wanted to install. He took it all back to basics, didn't he? He told everybody, right, you're this player, this is what you can do, this is how we want you to play. And then he's done nothing but try and build that team cohesion. And I think him and Thelwell need a good partner back for what they've done and who they've brought in, because it seems as if they've not just gone on ability of what they've tried to bring in, it's the mannerisms,
identity,
and the identity of the person that they've tried to bring in, which Jack Harrison's a clear example. It clearly is working.
Yeah, they have. They've said that now. They're doing everything on the computer with a system now. So when they sign players, they're doing it on a system of what they need and what Sean Dyche wants for his style. And you can tell that with Beto. They wanted a big centre forward, and Beto really does tick that boxes. The Blue says Harrison is still not fully fit. He isn't. But like you just said, Jamie, it's a very good point. Harrison, he isn't the amazing Harrison at Leeds yet. But I tell you something, he works hard. He presses them. He gets corners. He gets throw-ins. He pushes them up the pitch. He tracks back. And he really does work hard, Jack Harrison does. And I think he's going to be an incredible player. Scared? Have we got... We're going to do lineups now, people. And we want your lineups. So get ready. Get your lineups ready. Write them out. Have we got, something in place where we can sign Jack Harrison or not?
So in the loan deal, it was an agreement that he could go out on loan to a Premier League team, and there's a set fee that they can pay within the season to then sign him permanently. I don't know whether it carries on over the summer, but it was under my understanding that I think it was something like 12 million. I've seen something on Twitter that apparently
30 million, they're saying.
Yeah, but it's fucking Leeds, isn't it? They can want 30 million all they want. They ain't going to get promoted again this season. We'll have Willie Donto in the summer. Fuck off back to Yorkshire. But no, that was my understanding, and that was why we didn't have to negotiate with Leeds to take him on loan, because that agreement was in his contract. It was a relegation clause that if a Premier League team come in to loan him for the season, then the buyout clause effectively to then sign him permanently was a set fee. It's not something, because we didn't have to negotiate to loan him, we shouldn't have to negotiate to buy him because it's a set fee. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I think it was something like 12 million. I believe I've read it. And do you know what? Anything between 12 and 18 million, I'll happily take that. And I wasn't, obviously I understand what the Blues said there. I was not bashing Harrison, or I actually really, really like Jack Harrison. I really liked Jack Harrison when Lee first signed for Leeds, and I thought he was an absolute baller in the Championship. And I know from what I've seen, he's got the pedigree to do it within the Premier League and within our squad. And I think he is miles of an improvement on watching Alex Iwobi attempt to cross a football into a box.
No, I think he's good. No, like you were just saying, he's not fully hit his highs yet, but like the Blues said, he's coming back from injury. But he's a cracking player. I'll hit this comment and then we'll do our lineups. Do you think we've just kind of touched on this, Ian Clark? Do you think Decore signing? We did say that just a bit earlier. I might just before you come on, we said it's a fantastic signing. It makes sense. We paid nearly 20 million for him, so we might as well carry on paying his wages. He's a very good quality player. It costs you a good bit of money to get someone like him as well. He's playing his best football. You said the same, didn't you, Jamie? We're happy with that. And 12-point deduction. Do you think we'll get it, Jamie, or not?
No. And to be fair, even if it was a points deduction, I don't think we would get 12 for one offence. Because how can you attribute 12 points for one offence? Surely if it's one offence, you would think maybe something along the lines of maybe like a 3-point deduction for it being a single offence. It doesn't quite compute to me. It doesn't quite add up to me myself. I also don't think that it will be a case that points will be deducted this season if that were to happen either, because we have the right to appeal either way. You can't then punish us.
That's what the Burnley lad said, didn't he, when they had him on? He said it's not going to happen this season no matter what, and he knows quite a bit, he does.
Because you can't fix us up with a punishment. Say if they deducted us 6 points, right, and that's what they come to an agreement of, they would deduct us 6 points. As soon as we appeal, they can't physically put a 6-point deduction on us this season, have us relegated, and then in 2 years' time decide that it was unfair, and because they can't give those points back. They can't do that. They can't make a mistake on this, and the whole world is watching of what they do here, because they can either stick with what the supposed independent panel are going to do, because what happens to Everton here it's like throwing a stone in water. It's going to have a ripple effect on anybody else, and Man City, I'm talking about you here, that has any form of accusations against them of breaking financial fair play. Because if you're going to try and stick us with literally one, what's going to happen to others? Because it's going to come out that people are going to have more. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I think what it would probably be.
I think they've got to do something, but I don't think they're going to be brutal. Like you said, the most for me it would be is 3 points, and I don't think that it'll be 3 points. I really don't, because we've been working with the Premier League, and even if they come out and say they're going to do this, we can appeal again. I think we can probably appeal it again and say that we did review and stuff like that. It's a long process, and it isn't going to happen this season, so I'm not that bothered.
If we have done something wrong and we have gone against financial fair play, fair enough. Give us some form of punishment. A points deduction is not the answer, because what you've also got to think about is if we have gone against financial fair play, there's nothing saying we've done that this year. This could have happened last year or the year before, where we staved off relegation. If you then decide to either deduct points or punish us severely for that, will that not bring relegated teams out of the woodwork to then sue the FA for not having done something sooner? It's Pandora's box, and they need to be extremely careful what they do, because it's just going to open an absolute shitstorm for them if they get it wrong. In my own personal opinion, I think it should be some form of money penalty, or maybe a transfer embargo for a specific block or whatever. If it's to do with transfers, if it's nothing to do with transfers, then a transfer embargo shouldn't even be included. It should be a penal fine of money.
No, I completely agree with you. I'm not worried about it at all. I'm not worried about it at all. I am seeing some lineups. Get your lineups in the comments. We want to hear, what would your lineup be against Brighton? And then we'll do score predictions. Then we finish the Toffee Blue Cash show. I'm loving you all getting involved in the comments. Keep getting involved. And if you can like and subscribe, it puts our channel about. We have good get-togethers before and after the game. Jamie, you probably already thought about it. You've got the last lineup, but you tell me, what would your lineup be and what changes would you make? And then I'll give mine, and then we'll read them out in the comments.
Do you know what? I'm going to be very Sean Dyche about this, because he doesn't ring the changes in unless it's an MK Dons or it's somebody like that. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't ring the changes in. I don't particularly want to ring the changes in. It worked last game where he's changed a couple from the game before. Pickford in goal for me. Obviously, it's no brainer. I'd have Mikalenko at left back, like Bramthwaite, Tarkowski, Nathan Patterson at the back for me.
Nathan Patterson, we knew that. We knew that, people. God.
Nathan Patterson. I'd stick with the four in midfield. Jack Harrison, James Garner, Onana. That is a partnership I do not. As much as I love Idrissa Gueye, and Idrissa Gueye has done wonderful things for this football club, I want that partnership to stay as it is, because it's just.
Before you tell me you've gone 4-4, before you tell me, so you're going Harrison, Garner, Onana, and McNeil, ain't you? You just said.
Yeah, exactly. I just want Onana and Garner to stay where they are, because it's just an effective partnership of strength, speed, and passing. They've both got.
That's what I was just going to touch on now. To you, I'm asking you now. Do you think that Garner Gueye is out because of the injury that he had? Do you think he's not fully fit, or do you think he's out because Sean Dyche prefers the Garner and the Onana combination?
I'd like to think that Dyche has seen the Garner and Onana partnership, because everybody else can see it. I think.
Yeah, I hope so.
Do you know what? It's not even the partnership, because the partnership's fantastic. And I said this to you. I think it was after that game when Gueye was injured. Onana looks like a different animal and a different player with the responsibility of sitting in front of the back four. And do you know what? I think that's his natural position, and I think that's where he needs to stay. And people laughed at me at the start of the season when I likened him to the likes of Vieira or Roy Keane in that position in front of the back four, breaking up the play. Everyone said to me, he's not a Vieira, he's not this, not. I didn't say he was going to be those. I said he's going to be that type of player. He's going to be the player that opposition fans and opposition players don't want to come up against, because he's just going to bully them off the ball, and it's what he does. And when you look at Brighton's midfield, they do not have a 6'5" Belgium that's a fucking brick shithouse that's going to dominate Onana the way he's going to dominate their centre midfield. So that's the partnership.
You get me excited. You're talking about my player there, and you're saying good things. It's getting me excited,
mate. Do you know what? It's not that he's proved me right. It's just that I said at the start of the season, this is where I want him to play, and this is his season to kick on, and that's the position he needs to be in. Fair enough, Idrissa Gueye got injured where he wasn't going to play, but he took his chance, and he's took his chance well, so he needs to stay there for me. I love Idrissa Gueye, but I think Idrissa should be.
I think there was. I think with Idrissa Gueye playing in the number 6, and I think with Onana playing at the side of him, you could always tell Onana wanted to be in that position, and you were stepping on each other's toes, and you could tell. Idrissa Gueye for me, I love him, and I was jumping around when he come back. But at the end of the day, you've got to play your best team, because Everton just need to figure out who we are. And Onana in that position is more tidier on the ball. I'm not saying than Gueye at the minute. Gueye should be tidy on the ball, but he wasn't cutting it. He was losing possession, and I wasn't fully confident in Gueye on the ball in the centre. Onana, I really trust, and he clicks with James Garner. They know each other. They pass it, they move, they know each other's movement. And you never feel, even though we've got 2 in the centre, you never feel like we're open. They do fill the spaces, Onana and Garner. They've got everything sorted. You don't get teams run through us down the middle like they used to. So I'm happy with that combination, like you've just said. Who was your... Go on then, carry it on. So you've got 4-4. Who's after that?
Just got to finish with the Onana shout. I apologise. I'm probably snoring and making everybody snore in the chat. But no, what you said was I just want to touch on it because you hit the nail on the head of what I wanted to say next. Was he is far more tidy on the ball than Adjusagay. It's not something Adjusagay was fully known for as a great passer of the ball, which he never has been. He's been that person to break the play up, dish the ball off, and get us back on the break. Whereas Onana has it all. He has the athleticism to put a challenge in, but then he's got the ability to get his head up and ping a pass, which is why it doesn't always feel like we have two in midfield, because it frees Jimmy Garner to roam about and pick his passes. So that's why I like that partnership better than having just a guy in the middle of a three. But that's enough of me and I know Nana. Okay, so
I like it. I'll take it all day. Everybody love Onana. I stuck by him.
But,
Everyone loves him now. There you go. Who you got then?
Yeah.
Have you got Danjuma there, or have you got Decore there, or you got
for me,
there?
it's Dukes all day for me. It's Dukes all day for me. Just because I think it's going to be a physical battle against their centre backs, whether they go three at the back or whether they play Igor left back or whatever they do, it's going to be a physical battle. And as much as I like Danjuma brings a lot to the party. I think Danjuma would be more of an impact substitution maybe in the second half for Harrison or McNeil if we need to, coming off a wing. I want Decore up there because he wins headers. He intercepts so much and turns over so much of the ball in that position when we're pressing that I want him to stay there. And also, he's not afraid to push on beyond DCL. So if DCL wins the flick on, Dukes is there to run onto it and potentially get us through. Very much like his chance against West Ham, where if you remember, DCL beat two centre backs to the header, and Dukes was through. So yeah, I 100% want Dukes in there. I actually have Dukes to score tomorrow, I'll be totally honest, to crown off a great week for himself. And DCL up front.
So that is Jamie's team. I like it a lot. I've got your teams there. Me and Jamie will read them in a second. I'll give you my team. My team is Neville Southall in goals. Would you have Southall or Pickford in goals?
Do you know what? It's an unfair comment because I love Jordan Pickford, but Neville Southall's the best goalkeeper I've ever seen play the game, mate.
Neville Southall is probably the only goalkeeper that would make Pickford look shit. You know what I mean? Neville Southall is just a different gravy. But Pickford is absolutely class, by the way, and I love Pickford. That shows how good Neville Southall is, that you've got England's number one there, and he couldn't touch Southall. Right. I'm going Pickford. Then I'm going to go for Patterson right back. I like Patterson's pace against Matoma. I am going to go for Patterson. I think Patterson looks like he needs games now. He's got the confidence, but I don't want him to lose it. James is happy about that. But I do think Dyche might pick Young, so I'm going to be really interested on what happens. But like you just said, Jamie, Young hopefully has learned after that red card and doesn't get stupid yellows, which was aggravating Emma and me and everyone on the channel. So hopefully if Young does play, he plays well, because we just want anyone to play well that plays. But I would pick Patterson there, but I'm not going to cry if Young plays there. I'm half expecting it. Tarkowski, Branthwaite, they're my boys. Mikalenko, left back, he's nailed that position for me. You can't touch him in that position unless he gets injured. Jack Harrison, I'd play him, yes. McNeil, I'm playing him. Danjuma, he didn't do enough last game to kind of knock McNeil or Harrison out the squad for me. I think if Danjuma went and scored a brace, you'd be saying you want to push him into this team. I will still give Danjuma a chance, and I still think he's going to do really well, but he's not pushed any of these out yet. But he will. He'll get his chance, don't worry. We've got a whole season ahead of us, and Harrison, McNeil, or Decore could get injured, so we still need Danjuma to be on it. In the centre, Onana, fantastic, like you've just said, Jamie. It's just the way he uses pass players at the minute. He's so strong. And you mentioned Vieira. We're not comparing him to Vieira, but Vieira was known for being powerful and being able to go strength to strength with a player and just run past him. And Onana's definitely got that. He's got that sharp turn where he can turn into space as well, Onana has at the minute. He's growing with confidence. And I knew he wasn't doing that well, but I always stuck behind him because I knew he could be like this. But it's nice to see him actually put some consistent good performances together. Garner, I feel Garner gets underappreciated sometimes because he's absolute class. He got clattered last game loads of times, but he still kept going. And James Garner is someone that if you take him out, you'll miss him. kind of like Decore, really. You take these players for granted, but they cover that much turf, they close that much down, they turn the ball over that much. We wouldn't attack as much if we didn't have players like Decore and Garner. That moves on to Decore. Of course, he's playing for me. I think Decore. Do you know when you press a team like Brighton that passes out from the back, Decore, he starts the press and then they follow him. And he does start that press and they go in. He sets the tone. Do you know where some players are thinking twice about pressing? Decore doesn't think twice. He goes and does it, and everyone else has to follow Decore doing the press. So, yeah, I'd have Decore there. And then I love Beto, and I think Beto's cracking. He'll come on when Calvert-Lewin gets shattered in this game, but Calvert-Lewin's got to start the form he's in. So, yeah, the only change there for me is Patterson. That's my team. And Dukes, Dukes. I just thinking Dukes is in there, I forgot.
The thing with Onana is that he looks as if he's just too agile for his body type. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I mean about the Vieira, because Vieira was very the same. Vieira was deceptively quick and powerful, which is what Onana's got. And for his body type, you don't expect it.
He's only going to get stronger as well at 21. He's not even filled out yet. I think he's big and tall, but he's not stocky yet. But when he gets stocky, when Onana becomes used to the Premier League, he's going to be a force. I tell you, I'm not comparing to Fellaini because I know Belgium. No, but it took Fellaini a while to get used to this Premier League, and then he's just bossed it for us. And I think Onana will be the same. You can see he's embedding into it. I love Onana. Right, Paul Foster, let's get his team on here now. There we go.
Pickford, Miko, Branthwaite, Tarkowski, Young, McNeil, Onana, Garner, Patterson right mid. Decore, DCL, Patterson ahead of Young could combat the Matoma threat in the first half. Yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. I don't think Jack Harrison's slouch is very much defensively for us, but I see the point. I do see the point. I don't think Matoma's... Yes, Matoma's a threat. We all know that. But I don't think he's a threat where we should limit two players completely or negate two players out of the game to watch one person. But I see the logic behind it. It's however Sean Dyche is going to see it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it depends whether you want it. It's a good idea, and I get what he's thinking. Paul's got his head switched on there. It depends whether you want to. Sometimes you can do too much to be scared of a player, and then you end up defending against Matoma, where we could actually push Matoma back and make him not play his game and get Harrison get on going the other end. That's the thing. You've got to sometimes the best form of defense is to attack, isn't it? That's what they say. That's the saying, and it's true. And I'd rather have Harrison there for me bombing it forward. But it's a good combination, and maybe Dyche tried that to see whether that works. Last game, you're definitely going to feel strong. And Young, the goal that he scored, if he was right wing and he starts scoring goals like that, he used to be a winger. Why not? Right, on to the next one. We're reading your lineups out now, people. So put your lineups in if you haven't, and we'll read it out. Here we go. This is the Blues, the tactical man, the Blues.
JP, Patterson, Tarky, Branthwaite, Miko, Harrison, Garner, Onana, McNeil, Dukes, DCL. Pretty much same as us, Dan. I think box standard. I think that's the box standard 11 we pretty much all want to see week in, week out. So yeah, good on you, the Blues, lad.
We know our best lineup now. I think that is the best lineup. Now, this is weird this season, not having Stan Mills in this. I watched Stan Mills. By the way, Everton. Stan Mills is on the Golf Life. He's gone on with his dad on Golf Life, and he wasn't that good at golf. Give it a watch, but he's good at football. But I found it really interesting, and I'll put this out on the channel. People listening now, if you want. I didn't know. Stan Mills said when he was on the golfing with his dad, have a watch on it, Everton are continuously in touch with him on his loan and telling him what he needs to improve on when they watch him every week and what he needs to work on. He's got a psychologist asking him how he's getting on. I didn't know Everton was so in touch with I thought on the loans, when the players go out on loan, the club that they go to will look after them and tell them how they want them. But no, Everton are still in touch with Stan Mills, telling them how he wants them and stuff like that. Interesting bit of information there.
What he said was, there's this bloke called Everton that rings me every week to talk about how I can improve.
Sends me emails. He probably does. He probably does. What's he gone for then? Go on, Jamie. Give it a read.
Everton's gone. Pickford, Miko, Pato, Branthwaite, Tarky, McMessy. I don't know who Harrison is. Must need a shave or something here, but we'll go with Harrison, Onana, Garner, Dukes, DCL. Again, pretty much box standard what we've gone with there. So yeah, I'll rate that.
Just
Good
looking
Harrison.
now, getting all your lineups out. I think we've got a lot. The thing is, as well, we've got a lot of lineups that are the same. I think we know.
The Blues has just tweeted, "What's this golf life thing?" So if you remember Tubes off Soccer AM, him and his brother Ange, they've got a channel called The Golf Life with Tubes and Ange. You should watch it because they do some funny things on there.
Yeah,
they're both box standard golfers. They're trying to get the handicaps down, and Tube uses his connections to get like ex-footballers, current footballers on. They've had like Declan Rice, Zola, Letizier's been on there, Glenn Hoddle's been on
Sean
there.
Dyche, our manager, when Sean Dyche got sacked, he went on there, and it was really interesting. If you like your footballers and you like your football, go on and give it a listen. And it makes me like golf a little bit as well, which I didn't like before I watched that channel.
I highly suggest watching the 2-part episode of Dean Windass and the 2-part episode of Jamie Mackey. They are 2 of the funniest videos with the funniest stories you'll ever hear, especially Dean Windass. Oh my god.
Bulldog makes me laugh. Bulldog, I love Bulldog. He's such a good golfer, and he's comical. He's on the channel now because Bulldog was on Jimmy Bullard, by the way. He was on Soccer AM, but they cancelled that, so he's gone full time on the channel. But like I say, the good thing about the channel is they get loads of ex-footballers on, and they come on and they tell you about the football story. On the Golf Life, they play golf and they take a time out and they tell you about the story, and they get everybody on. I like it. You might watch it and not like it, but I do like it. But the fact they've had Onana on and all that,
just
they're not Onana, sorry.
In the background, if you're cleaning or whatever, some of the stories are brilliant. Like the Troy Deeney one they done as well. This is just Everton linked. Troy Deeney said that when he went to prison, the only person that wrote into him to make sure that he was okay was actually Sean Dyche. Yeah,
it's really. Some of the stories are interesting. It's interesting to hear Sean Dyche had a lot to do with Cloughie, didn't he? He said Cloughie used to go and get Sean Dyche when he was playing to do his garden and do the plants and stuff like that. Yeah, it was old school. That's why Sean Dyche is old school. He likes to put that into the players. It's really good. Like I say, watch the Mills one. Mills is awful at golf, by the way. Mills says he's a 10 handicap golf. His dad's all right. Well, I hate saying that about his dad, but his dad's all right. But he was not the handicap he said at golf. But yeah, if you watch it, it's just interesting. I like to get the stories on the Everton players. We'll probably have James Garner go on it soon. He's good at golf. Right, back to this now. Get that off the screen. We've gone through all your lineups. Thanks for putting your lineups. We've still got a few on, which is amazing. This is the main part then, isn't it, Jamie? Are you ready for this part? I always do it on the spot.
I've got a lot to live up to. I got it right last time.
Yeah, I know. You got a lot right last time, didn't you? You won't get it more right than actually the Burnley fans saying that McNeil was going to cross and Tarky was going to score an header for his goal. But
I'm not going to get the goal scorers down, but I'll get close on the score. Do you know what? We'll change it up. Since Paul's not here this week, how about you give your score first?
Oh, yeah, being like that, are you, bossy? Right. I always think of it on the spot. Don't like to think before I come on the channel. I like to go through the teams and think about it after. I'm going to go for 4-1 Everton. And by the way, that's no disrespect to Brighton. I'm not saying you're shit and we're going to spank you. I just really hope that we get a couple of goals and leave you behind. I think 4-1 Everton. My goal scorers are going to be... I think that Pedro will score for them. He seems to be the one that takes the penalties and scores sometimes for Brighton at the minute. He scored I wanted Pedro, I did, by the way, when he was in the Championship. I don't mind him. He's quite good. So I think Pedro will score for them. I think Decore is going to get a goal now he signed his contract. It's just that boost. It's the story, isn't it? McNeil has got to score against Brighton. I want to see him do that when he scores. So McNeil will score. And I think a centre-back's going to... I'm waiting for Branthwaite to score. I am waiting for Braithwaite. Tarkowski's got one, but Braithwaite, if he gets the right cross, he can score. Dunk is big, though, isn't he, for them? So it won't be easy to score against these on set pieces. That's one little point if they play the big ball.
Don't know.
Yeah, we've got a lot of big players. And then the last goal scorer, Calvert-Lewin, always scores for me. So there you go. That's my score. Get your score predictions in the comments now. We are coming to an end of the show. Thanks, everybody, for listening in. Let's just get your score predictions, and then we'll read them out.
I'll
Just
give
type
mine.
it in now.
You tell you're not used to going first.
No, go on. Sorry. Yeah, I know. God, I was thinking about writing this. Go on.
No, I decided mine. I decided mine about 5 minutes ago. I'm going to go 3-1 Everton. The reason I'm going to go 3-1 is I think we'll get the first goal. I think Pedro will get a goal, and I'm very much like you. Where when we sold Richarlison, I thought Pedro would be not a like-for-like swap for Richarlison, but they play a similar role, and I thought he wouldn't actually have been who we'd have gone for. So I'll go with him equalising, but then us coming out quickly in the second half, getting an early. Did I say who scored for us first? I've got DCL scoring in the first 10 minutes for us. João Pedro equalising. I've then got Doucouré breaking through, dribbling past the keeper and putting it into an empty net. And then I've got a Nathan Patterson screamer.
Patterson,
topping us off at 3-1. So yeah, I'm going to go 3-1.
Do you feel like the thing is, if you're listening on this, Brighton fans, I think we sound like we're cocky and stuff like that, but I generally do think we've got a chance of winning. And if you're going to say you're going to win, you don't always give yourself 1-0. So we're just saying 3-1. Right, here we go.
But we're Everton Football Club, and we need to go into every game wanting to win the game, and it's as simple as that.
That's what I always think, though, Jamie. Sometimes people say to me, "Oh, you're too positive" and stuff like that. I think to myself, right, I'll go into the game wanting to win. If we lose, I'll take it, I'll move on, and I want to win the next. So what that I wanted to win the game. Some people, they're scared to say they want to win, and they're just, "Oh, it's Everton, we won't," or they like to say bad things before the game. The way we are now, we've won 5 in the last 7. Why not go into this to win? We beat West Ham with a fully strength team. We've just gone and seen knock a big team out the cup. We can do good now. This will show what we're like now. This will show where Everton are at, Jamie, for me. This is the tester. Yeah. Yes, we've won 5 and 7. Are we the real deal? Are we actually changing now? Are we turning the corner? I believe we are. Please, Everton, please just get a win this game. And let's because I think if we win and results go away, we go top half of the table. Top half of the table, don't we? And
mate, it's amazing what a couple of results do for you. We are looking, and again, goal difference, and we said it last season. Goal difference is always a great indicator of where you're going to be in the league. And you look at our goal difference now; we are starting to pull away from those below us, points and goal difference wise. That doesn't lie. There's a reason why goal difference is a thing and points is a thing, because that's where it separates you as a team. We're starting to go in the right direction. We just need to keep it going.
And the good thing is we've found something that works now. We have found something, and if you found something that works, we don't care about the past. People gave me all last season about the past. Oh, Everton this, Everton lost against Fulham at the start of this season, Everton lost against Luton. Don't really care. All I care is that we are better now. And I want that winning mentality now. I want where these players have felt how to win. They like it. And then the next game, they want to do it again. And we've got to get that winning mentality. And if we do, if we win this game and we're near the top half and we decide we just put some wins together, David Moyes used to do that when he got Europa League. I'm not saying we're going to get Europa League, but I'm just saying keep winning games and have a good season. Sean Dyche got Europa League with Burnley with a lot worse team than this. Just win this game and push up the table, because then, which we won't, but then even if we did get a 12-point deduction and you're, frigging 9th in the league, it doesn't matter, does it? Who cares? It's not going to touch us. So that's what you've got to do. I'm getting excited now. I am getting excited, but I actually like Everton at the minute. And you've made me excited because you like Onana now. We liked him anyway, but he's actually
I never
filling his
did
boots.
not like him, but I just
No,
wanted him to fill his potential, and he started
fill
to
his
do it.
boots.
So
Yeah,
nothing to
exactly.
praise.
They've got
Go on then, what's
to
up,
earn the
Dave?
stripes. Yeah, they've got to earn the stripes, and they've got to prove themselves. Right, I'm going to read your scores now. So put them in.
Come on, Eugene, lad. 4-0 to the Blues.
Sticks with us. Love him. Eugene, shout out to you. 4-0. Good score as well. We've got a good batch of regulars on this channel, haven't we? We really have. They come all the time. Thanks for coming on. This is amazing. I'm loving this channel at the minute. It just does itself. The Toffee Bluecast get together. We all have a get together. Emma EFC has gone for 2-1 Tarks and Onanis. She always puts Tarks, doesn't she? I think there's a bit of a crush there.
You can't. Do you know what? You can't ignore Tarks though. To be fair, because
Do you think it's because she rates him as a player or she fancies him?
But mate, I fancy him. Do you know what I mean? And I'm straight as the day is long.
Actually, yeah. He smells like bread. Who wouldn't fancy someone that smells like bread? You know what I mean?
Bottle it and send me some of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 2-1, Tarks and Onana. Onana, everyone's on the Onana now. People are loving Onana. I love it. That's what I want to hear. We believe in him.
Emma's just put a bit of both.
Yeah, there you go. Thought so. Oh, God, I don't really want to say. The Blues is here with his score, and he's going crazy now. His head's fell off. Right, we only asked him the score, and he don't know what to put. Oh God, I really don't know what to say. But my head says 3-1 Brighton, and my heart. You go with your heart, mate. You've got to go with your heart in life. That's what gives you these fairy tale love stories. 2-1 the Blues. Branthwaite. He thinks Branthwaite as well.
Do you know what? It could be that way. It could not be that way. We've just got to wait and see, really.
Right, Everton. Thanks, Blues. I'll let you have 2 because you always come on the channel and it won't be the same without you. Right, Everton has gone for. He's gone big like me. I was going to say 4-2, but I didn't give them. He's gone DCL, Onana, Messi, and Harrison. He likes his names tonight, doesn't he? He hasn't said who scores for them, but he don't care as long as we win. I'm going through these scores now. Paul Foster, he does get it right sometimes. Paul Foster, he wishes he was here, doesn't he? Here we go. Paul Foster, Brighton.
There's a reason why fans are professional. Knows what he's on about.
Scored in every league game this season, so I'll go 1-0 Everton.
I mean, we have had 2 clean sheets in a row.
Makes a good point. Paul's always got a stat, hasn't he? He's always got a stat in his pocket. No matter where he is in the world, he'll pull a stat out of his pocket. And there is Paul Foster's stat. So he thinks if something doesn't happen, then it's going to happen.
Every time you invite me on, the first thing that comes back to you is, I'll do a little bit of reading up so I'm not outclassed by Paul. Because he's always got that.
He is the stat man. He is the stat man. Right, I'm reading your scores, by the way, people. Put your scores on. If I miss them, I'm sorry. Eliana says hi. My daughter Eliana just said hi to you. She loves you, to be fair. She knows, she watches the channel and she knows you. She knows Paul. And she talks about Toffee Bluecast all the time. She actually does love the channel. I'll have to have her on again at some point. She'll say hello to you.
Put a floor production in as well here, Dan.
We'll do a kids one where you get your daughter back on. She has her appearance, and we'll get Eliana back on. Going through the scores. If I haven't missed them, Ian Clark has gone. Sorry if I've missed them. There's a lot of comments you are putting on, which I've told you to. Ian Clark's gone 2-0. McNeil and DCL. Thank you, Ian Clark. Stayed with us all the way through. Love it. Clean sheet, can't go wrong. And then after, I don't know whether he's copied, but he's here, back, young trash lord.
Oh yeah,
he's gone for 2 as well.
To be fair, 2-0's not a bad goal. Like I said, get that early goal, get the second goal, see off the game. It's not a bad shout. Chloe
must have asked Eliana what she thinks the score is going to be. Yeah. Do you know what, though? The funny thing is, Jamie, I learned Eliana the Calvert-Lewin song, which people didn't like me singing. Pathetic. But I learned Eliana the Calvert-Lewin song, and she goes, why have you learned me she knows it now, the Calvert-Lewin song, the whole song, and she's only 5. I'll get her to do it soon. People won't knock her, hopefully. But I'll get Eliana to do the Calvert-Lewin song because she's learned it. She goes, yeah, but why am I doing the Calvert-Lewin song? Decore is my favourite player. That's what she actually said. She goes, Decore is the best player. Calvert-Lewin's not the best player, she said. She really does love Decore. And Eliana, Chloe must have asked her 2-0. And she's got Decore and Onana because she always sings, oh, Nana, what's my name? Oh, Nana, what's my name? Time we had a penalty. Ian Clark's just said, going through the comments, trying to get all your comments in. Young Lord Trash, what's your comment? No, I just feel like we can beat Brighton. Brighton is like a better version of Burnley, in my opinion.
That's ruthless. That's ruthless.
I love it. Dukes or nothing. There we go. Decoy's got a score. Hope he does. Right, everybody, that's it. We don't want to keep you too long. Thanks for coming on. Jamie, pleasure to talk to you as always. We've got a good setup on this Toffee Bluecast, and we will look to nail everything we can on this channel for you and give you a good listen. People will try and figure out what we need to do, even if we could get it on a podcast as well going forward. So I know a lot of people do listen to this in the car with their headphones and stuff like that. If you've got any suggestions on Toffee Bluecast, tell us, and we will try and give you everything you want on this channel. We just try and, with the people's, you know what I mean? We try and please you. You tell us what we want, and we'll do it. Me and Paul, I will announce it. Me and Paul are looking to do, it's called like a take me back, a rewind. So we're looking to get some guests on and have a rewind. So say if an ex-player comes on, we'll have a rewind. I'll give an example. If Kevin Campbell come on, we'll have a rewind and say, how did your football career start? How did you make it? And we'll just go back to how it all started with a football player, and then we'll go through. That's something we're looking to add to the channel. We are working hard for you to give you good entertainment. Right, we'll say bye. Jamie, last words. I'll let you finish it off, mate. You've been amazing tonight. Cracking to talk to.
Just this terrible comment from Paul Foster. Get that Paul lad back on. He's good, him. I didn't realise I was that bad, Paul. Thanks for that, mate. But no, just keeping your seat warm for you, Paul. Dan asked me just to fill in just in case you weren't available. So I said I would. I said I probably won't be available for the
well, I was getting free on. No, I was getting free on anyway tonight. I was getting me on. I already asked you. Paul was going on. Was going to get free, but Paul needed a holiday because we've done a lot of streams just lately. So he's having a bit of time. I burnt him out. We're getting too many games, and there we go. I'm going to play this beautiful song that seems to be the channel song, even though it's not linked to Everton, but it's nice and relaxed.
Don't change the song. This song works perfectly, you know, for the intro.
Oh, it's just chilled. When you've got the flares going across and the Everton fans, and I just love being an Everton fan, I do. We're all together. Love being an Everton fan. Here we go.
Evening, guys.